Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending our 3-play tonight, which is in fact a 2-play. Joe is here in spirit only. In spirit only. What we're going to be doing tonight is just kind of horsing around a little bit with Divinity 2 and talking about some of the things that I've learned about it. But the idea here is to give viewers a little bit better sense of a game that I'm planning on investing more time in the future. One of the objectives, of course, is that I'm going to be putting together campaigns, not campaigns, but encounters that my Patreon subscribers will be able to participate in.
Sweet.
And
How
I think
does that
that's
make you feel, Stu?
it makes me feel
Warm and fuzzy, maybe.
maybe so far. Yeah, wait until I'm actually doing it, then we'll see how I actually feel about that.
Panicked a little bit,
Right.
maybe.
So for me, it's just as much about actually creating content as it is about playing the game. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Considerably higher resolution gameplay than some of the other things we played recently. Looks pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice.
Now you're running it off the game rig, right?
Yes, I am.
Strudel.
The strudel.
Must be Uber graphics for the load time here.
Yeah, it's loading pretty sizable environment here. So this is actually Act 2 of the single player. I made it through Act 1 and got just about everything done there was to do there. Now I'm kind of at the beginning of Act 2, and so part of what I thought would be useful about this was just to kind of it is an investment, right? I mean, it costs like $45 for the game, and it more importantly it's an investment of time. So I thought it might be helpful for people to kind of see what the game was like, how it worked, and get a better sense for what they're in for. So if they are interested in checking it out, becoming a Patreon, if they're not a patron already, doing that and getting involved in, some of the encounters stuff or whatever, they could make an informed decision. Plus, it's just kind of really fun RPG nerdy stuff that's fun to talk about. So
$45, more on the richer side of some of the games we've played recently, but the size of this game looks enormous. So
yeah, it is. There's an awful lot here. And I think what's extraordinary about the game is just the amount of flexibility that you have. There was a question earlier just, about classes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can do characters. You can create characters that follow a very specific or classic archetype, warriors, mages, clerics, all of that business. But the game is flexible enough that you can very easily cross over between these, create characters that are feel more like really customized multi-class type characters you might encounter in a tabletop game, right? That kind of thing.
Okay. So for the new guy, me, explain a little bit of the setup to get to here. Choose your crew. Is this randomly generated? What happens up to here?
So basically what happens is when you start the single player game, there are a handful of characters that are story characters, and you can pick which one of those you want to play, and then you have the option of including the other story characters as part of your traveling party.
Nice, okay.
So I chose this character. His name is Ifan, and I'm playing him as kind of a traditional warrior tank type.
Okay.
And then I brought along these 3 characters. And when the story starts out, basically you're all on a ship together. You are headed to a prison island. You get to that prison island, and then you have to escape that prison island. The whole first act is escaping the island. Now we're off the island and have moved on to another island destination, and this is a small town on that island called Driftwood, I believe.
Okay.
So here, we're sent to investigate this. We're trying to find someone who is going to teach us how to more effectively use our magic.
Okay.
Let's read it.
The notice reads, "Warning, do not enter, crime scene.
Oh, yes, we're going to
Meister
enter.
has been accused of conspiracy, murder, and high treason. She shall hang by the hands at the farmlands gallows until trial. Anyone
Wow.
found trespassing on these premises before her trial concludes shall be charged as an accomplice and will share her fate." You notice that the message is signed Magister Raymond in the name of Dallas Most Holy.
Very curious.
All right.
You can't go in, mister. The Meister isn't home and the Magister's locked the door. They was very angry about it. They said mean things about the Meister and they left a mess, a big one. She's outside the gates. I can't go outside the gates. It's very dangerous. Hey, you want to know a secret? When the wind blows from over the stream, I can hear the Meister. I can hear her crying.
She gives you a look of the darkest meaning. Then she takes a deep breath, puts on a happy smile, turns, and skips away.
Alrighty then.
It's kind of clever because it really, when they created this game, they really tried to make it feel like a traditional tabletop role-playing game. That part of the narrator fulfills the role of the game
GM,
master, you know, and the words and lines and so forth are even spoken in that tense, right?
I like it.
It's quite a bit different than a lot of games in that way. All right, we're gonna go find the Meister. Said she was hanging outside of town here. She's the person we need to talk to learn a bit more about how to use these powers. That's probably her right there.
Please, why would I kill Lucian's second most charming son?
Second most charming.
The lizard hangs from the gibbet, her face blooded and her scales discolored. Her eyes are closed, but her tongue flickers as you approach.
Welcome to Driftwood, God-woken.
One bloody eye cracks open, glittering gold appearing from beneath the swollen lid.
Chased you all the way here from Fort Joy, did they? Very well then, cut me down. There is work to be done.
Just right in front of the guards.
Or indeed you could stand there gulping like a mutt at the dinner table. That is certainly your right.
She's got quite an attitude.
Let's let her go.
Be quick about it, before the Magister realizes their prize catch is about to slip through the net. Excellent.
Very quite
Now, if you'd be so
confident.
kind as to gut that startled-looking Magister, it would be much appreciated. I must secure my home before they do any more damage.
She's just gonna run on home, eh?
I think she is.
All right,
Fight, fight, fight.
it's battle time. All right, that was a frost grenade.
Nice.
Not good. Comes the reinforcements. Now you can see it's turn-based combat. Okay.
I was just going to ask. Nice.
So that across the top you can see the order. All right.
There's a lot of people in this battle right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this battle. Remember, we got a party of 4. Basically, what I've got is Ifan. He's essentially a tank that deals primarily physical damage. Then I've got a mage who is kind of an ice and lightning type of a mage. I've got a female elf who is focused on kind of assassination stuff and archery. And then I've got the Red Prince, who is the lizard in my troop, and he's kind of a multi-purpose spellcaster and warrior. In fact, he can actually probably absorb more magic damage than Ifan can at this point, I would say. If Ifan is lacking one thing, it's magic, the ability to withstand magical attacks. So you can see right now it's Ifan's turn.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're going to do here is along the bottom we've got a list of different options here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give a buff to my teammates called Encourage. So everybody gets a slight buff there.
Ifan did a pep rally or what?
Pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go team, go.
All right. And so now we're just going to pick a target. Go bananas here. So this is going to be critical strike. So it lists the enemy as crippled, which means that that's going to push him back in the initiative lineup. So he's at a disadvantage now. And so what happens here is there are a lot of things, a lot of spells the enemies are going to use against me that I don't necessarily always know what they are. As I'm going up in levels, I'm starting to see newer high-level spells I'm not familiar with. So I'm always trying to figure out what effects they're hitting me with and if I can counter them. And the same goes for my effects as well. Is there something that Ifan can do that will set up Beast for a better shot? You know, those kinds of things.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting how that works out. All right, so essentially, if you look at the bottom there, you can also see there's the kind of gray, green, and pink circles. The ones that are filled in with either pink or green indicate an action. Now I'm down to basically like a half action. There's only a couple of different things I can do, and neither one of those things that are really useful to me. So I'm just going to end Ifan's turn and move on. And then the bad guy is going to take a shot. One of them anyway.
Whoa. Haste.
All right.
Distance for movement on these?
It varies by character.
Okay.
It varies by character depending on their attributes. All right, so it's Beast's turn, and he's got actually a lot of spell capabilities that are touch based. So we're just going to turn around here. We're going to hit this guy with a petrification. Okay. And now I'm casting a spell that's going to buff my comrades. That's going to speed everyone up. Now I'm going to get my archer to the high ground. So we're going to do tactical retreat, and we're going to put her right up here.
Wow.
All right. And now you can see she's still got some actions left. So we're going to pick a target here.
So we got percentages, distance, targeting information.
Yep.
The arrow does 40% damage. Is that what it does?
Yeah,
Or is
it's a
40%
bonus. It's a bonus for being on the high ground.
Gotcha.
So we'll take a shot at this guy.
Okay.
All right. Now what I can do is I can extend the life for her. I can extend the number of actions she can perform in this round by using this spell here.
Nice.
It's the flesh sacrifice. Basically, she's using her own blood as a power source, essentially, and getting extra actions. All right, there's one down. All right, so now it's the Red Prince's turn. Now he's got a whole different set of stuff. You can see on the bottom he's got some combat stuff in common with Ifan, but then he's also kind of got some interesting earth-based powers. He's also can conjure as well. I'm not feeling like this is a battle we need conjuration in. So we're going to slow this guy down. All right.
The sounds are fantastic.
Now, he's essentially coated in oil at this point. So let's just carefully... We'll take one action and get off this ice over here. All right. And then we got just enough time left to fortify him, so when things get nasty next round, he's kind of ready for it. Now you can see that guy's moving really slow because he was stuck in the oil. He's going after Beast. All right. So let's give this guy what for here.
I yield to none.
Can be electrified or frozen. Very nice.
Okay. I think he is done for now. You really have to pay attention sometimes to just figure out what's being used in a fight. It gets a bit crazy.
Well, it goes quite quickly from turn to turn, right? You can't pause to read anything they're doing.
Now I'm picking a target for Beast. He could go after this guy, or he could go after this guy. This guy here is actually a better target, though, because he's standing in a pool of blood, and I'm going to use... I'm going to electrify him, which will help out a little bit. Gives me just a slight damage boost. Let's give this guy something to think about. All right. And the electrical attacks are kind of cool because they can strip away some magical armor as well, which is kind of cool.
Oh.
See, now he made a point of shooting that barrel, which means what that says to me is he might be setting me up for an electrical attack of some kind. I'm not sure. So...
Are they electrified right now, or is it some sort of a...
They're both electrified. They're suffering the after effects, I think, of Beast's attack.
Okay.
I think. Well, this guy is for sure.
Right.
I'm not sure about this guy. So... let's try a pinning shot and see if we can cripple this guy before he can do something funky. Okay, I counteracted his haste, is what I did there. So he's not really crippled, but I counteracted the haste. Let's see. We can also help out our comrades here. Let's scoop Beast out of here. I'm going to teleport Beast out to the high ground. So Beast is out of the middle of the fray, which is probably good because he's not a heavy armor type of dude. Let's see. Okay, got the knockdown. I don't get as good a damage when I'm going up like that, so let's see if we can finish this guy. Alright, he's done.
Finish him.
Done. Alright, so now we're on to Ifan, and we're going to do a fighting retreat kind of thing with him.
I love that.
That was cool because that one is a blitz attack or whatever. I think it chains together an attack, so you pick the initial target and then he'll jump to the next closest enemy and attack them too at the same time, which is kind of cool. All right, a little chop there.
I'm just trying to get used to the notation marks as someone takes a hit and what the changes are, damage and...
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Let's see. Well, Beast is up, followed... Yeah, I mean, the next 3 attacks in a row are going to be all our party. So, hopefully, that's going to mean we kill these guys. Okay, there's another one. All right, so nothing really more Beast can do at this point. So let's just... Sabine is going to just do some vanilla bow shots into this guy. That was it. And then you can see it gives an experience point award immediately, right? And our party is good to go.
Nice.
So let's... All right. So you can see there's a little arrow next to everybody here. That means everyone's gone up a level at this point.
Ah.
So we can do some leveling up. But this shows all the members of our party, and it also shows kind of their, I guess, quote-unquote, marching order. It really only pertains to stuff like when you get in here into gear, right? We're switching between them. That kind of thing. But you can see they're all chained together here as well. Now, I can take Sabine, I can grab her, and I can pull her out of the chain, which means she can now operate independently. So if I select her, she can go and search for loot, which I like to do with her because she's faster and she's got more abilities that kind of relate to mobility than the other characters do. So sometimes it's easier to just have them sit there while she goes and looks for all the loot. That's a nice axe. That's a nice piece of axe.
Detail on carry weights. Do you get that here? Or is she already over encumbered because of the nice piece of axe?
She is not over encumbered. Not right yet.
Where would you see that?
We'll take a look at that in a minute.
Don't look too closely.
All right.
It is nice that you can do a little shopping after you've cleared house.
Yep. All right, so we got our people back together now. If I want to get her back into the party, I just drag up here like this, and she's chained back with everyone.
And who's up on the other side over here? Is this what is this?
That is that's a dead body
Hanging in the gallows. Oh,
hanging from the gallows.
Gotcha.
Yep. We can have Sabine search that person too. Now, whoever I select then becomes party leader. So if I select Beast, he'll be out in front. If I select Ifan, he'll be out in front. That's kind of how that works, right?
Nice.
So I can choose the party leader I want to. All right.
Very nice.
Very nice. So let's take a look here. So we can see over here, this is going to show us encumbrance information. I don't have anybody that's over encumbered right now. This number will show you what their capacity is and what they're currently carrying. And the capacity number is based on their strength score, plus any magic they might have that increases strength, stuff like that.
Okay. When you start the game, do you start at a level 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've had a chance to build up
Yeah.
a bit. Okay.
Yeah, we've
Excellent.
gotten everybody up to around level 11. I think everyone's at 11 now. Okay, so let's take a look at this. We can level people up. So when you level up, you're going to level up an attribute. You're going to level up a skill or an ability, right? This time around, we didn't have enough experience to level up an ability, but we do have enough to level up a skill and a couple attributes.
Okay.
So with this character, I mean, I'm really focused on warfare kind of stuff. Any magical resistance this character gets, I'm getting from magic items, and it's not always sufficient. We're going to take a level in warfare, though. All right, and then he uses two-handed weapons, which is a strength-based weapon. So if you're shooting a bow, using a dagger, using a one-handed sword, something like that, that's a finesse-based ability. So with this guy, we invest in strength, in constitution. He can take huge amounts of damage when it comes to physical damage, where he's more susceptible is in certain magical attacks. And he ends up being, literally the lightning rod for a lot of stuff. But it's him sitting there and getting beat on for 5 or 6 rounds that sets up the rest of the party to dish out the damage a lot of times.
Yep.
So, all right. The Red Prince. I'm thinking I'm going to invest in summoning for him. So I'm going to do some more of that.
Any background on the naming of the characters this time around?
Nope. All of these characters, these are default names.
Okay.
These are the standard characters in the single-player game, and all of them have stories, so they all kind of come pre-named with personalities and voices and everything. So
Good deal. I didn't know if they were yours.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Just dump it into Constitution. All right, so Beast, he's my spellcaster.
He's huge.
He's beastly.
Very beastly.
Yeah. So these are the different spell schools. Aerotheurgy is like, I think that covers air. I think it's air and lightning, maybe. Geomancer is earth-based attacks. Hydrosophist is water-based. Necromancer, well, we know that, death and stuff. Polymorph, I don't do a lot with polymorph, but I've fought enemies that do, like they give themselves wings and fly across the map.
Whoa.
And shit like that, which is kind of interesting. Pyrokinetic, of course, we kind of know what that is. Huntsman is kind of what you invest in if you're using bow, for example, or crossbow. And what's interesting is the levels that you have in these skills here will determine which of these skills listed in the hotbar down here are available to you or useful to you, that kind of thing, right? So when we look at Ifan, he's got high levels in warfare, and so we can see these are all like warfare-based skills that he's got down here, right? So we keep working on that. And for him, it's going to be mostly about intelligence. And then Sabine, she's a finesse weapon user, of course.
Not a lot of armor going on there.
It doesn't look like it. It's set up in, this is kind of the elven style, right? Mm-hmm. But she is very well protected from both magic and physical attacks.
Nice.
And we'll dump it into Huntsman. Right?
Stu.
Yeah.
What are source points?
So source points are... Source is an element in this game. It's kind of like a magical element that only certain people can use.
Okay.
You can almost think of it like the Force in a way, but in this game it kind of comes in liquid form.
Oh. In
some cases. Some people can wield Source, and so in this game people are referred to as sorcerers, but it's spelled differently. It's spelled like source.
S-O-U-R-C. Okay.
Yeah. We'll get a view of that here in a second. We're going to go back now, and we're going to find the Meister. She ran back to her house when we were fighting.
Well, you cut her down. She was heading off.
The Meister is supposed to be able to help us learn how to use Source. So in this game, there are good users of Source who are called Godwoken, and then there are evil users of Source who are called Voidwoken. And